So he is truly regarded as a Lancashire legend. It was during the test match at Old Trafford last year. Legendary Farokh Engineer had a stand named after him being inaugurated. Farokh sir, welcome to Revsportz. Let me just start by asking you,
Namaskar,
a lot
namaskar,
has been
Devashish. Always good to talk to you.
absolute, it's a pleasure and an honor. Farooq sir, I'll start with a lot has been spoken about the teenage sensation Vaibhav Sooryavanshi.
Yes, indeed. I've heard so
What
much about
what
him.
are your initial observations about him?
Well, he's a phenomenal young cricketer, and it is beyond me that they haven't given him a chance to play against Ireland. I mean, Sanju Samson is a very good player. Had a very great. Had a great IPL, but he's had a few failures. So why don't you try the youngster? Why have you brought him here? To give him experience, isn't it? I'm looking forward to meeting the youngster and shaking his hand
Oh,
because I'm full of
fantastic.
admiration for him.
Fantastic, fantastic.
He's full of respect towards the seniors and all that. And the way he's handled himself, I'm very impressed. He's fearless. Reminds me of my batting, really, you know. Uh, He's not afraid to
Ex-
hit the ball. First ball for six.
yeah. Farooq sir, if I may ask you, how has been the reaction across UK? Is it somewhat similar when a young Sachin Tendulkar travelled with the Indian team for the first time?
Yes, I think the reaction is same, especially amongst the Indian diaspora. That why haven't they picked him? There was so much. I mean, basically the team T20 team has been picked on the successes of IPL. You know, which other player has had greater success than young Vaibhav? So you picked him in the team, give him experience, and they play him as much as possible on English wickets in these conditions. Only then he'll improve.
Yeah, Farooq sir, there's another school of thought which suggests that let the youngster get into the mold, share dressing room with the seniors, get accustomed to it.
He's
Obviously, he
already
has.
used to sharing dressing room with the seniors in IPL. He's shared rooms with all the senior Test cricketers and all that. I mean, he's a lad that has matured very quickly. So throw him in the deep end. You know, throw him in the thing in England. Let him experience. He might have one or two failures, but I would persevere with him because he's got tremendous talent. And he's once in a generation player. And when you have a player like this, nurse him, nurture him, and give him as much exposure as possible. Give him as much. He doesn't have to prove himself. He's already proved himself. So give him experience and play him in England and English conditions. God forbid if he fails to that, which I don't think he will. He's got that confidence, but you're putting more pressure on the young boy, which is not fair. Let him play. Let him let him out. Let him loose. Tell him you play your own free game. Wherever you've nothing to prove, you've already proved yourself as a class player. So go out there and express yourself, and you know he'll be another Sachin Tendulkar. That's what we want, don't we?
Farooq sir, that's a big statement. That's a big statement coming from
Yes,
you.
indeed. I mean, okay, he's got to play Test cricket and get runs in Test cricket. Sachin is Sachin. Sachin is a one-off.
Yeah, no comparison at all.
There is no comparison at the moment. But if you're going to compare him with the best. He's the best we've had. And there are a lot of similarities, like a youngster coming in at that age and all that. Who knows? He might be another Tendulkar. Who knows? And I hope for India's sake and for his sake that if he comes anywhere near Sachin Tendulkar also, then he's achieved a hell of a lot. Because Sachin
Right.
is a guy we respect and admire for what he's done.
Absolutely.
And
So do you reckon, Farooq sir, that he should have been drafted in the playing 11 straight away in the series against Ireland?
absolutely, he should have been drafted in the very first game. Only then he's going to get experience against Ireland. Even if he had failed against Ireland, at least he's played on English pitches, out in the middle. Practice is okay, is one thing, but practice in the middle is a different thing altogether. Different confidence it gives you, playing in the middle and getting runs. So he would have been ready and ripe for England today. But better late than never. He doesn't have to prove himself. He's hit Jofra Archer first ball over his head for six. He's hit Pat Cummins over his head for six. I mean, two of the finest bowlers in the game. What do you want? What more do you want? What I mean, he's brimming with confidence. So get him out in the middle and play him.
What do you like the most about him? Means having watched him, so whatever you have watched
He's
him,
fearless.
observed him.
What I like is the swing of the bat, and he plays straight. He doesn't play across the line. He doesn't play many risky shots. If you see, he plays straight. And anyone who hits the ball straight with a straight bat is always a good player. I mean, not many people have that talent or that confidence. And he has it. He has it. We are lucky in India to have a player like him. So why keep him in the dressing room? And why just play him in the nets? You know, put him out in the middle. Throw him in the deep end. You either sink, you either sink or swim. But I think he'll swim because he's you know in the long run he will be a tremendous asset for India.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the short run too.
Yeah, Farooq sir, obviously we'll just talk about another cricketer, Rishabh Pant. In recent times he finds himself out of favors with the selectors and team management in white ball
Again, I don't
format.
understand. I don't understand that. Rishabh is a tried and tested player. I mean, he had a pretty decent IPL, keeping wickets. I don't think he did much wrong. I don't think he did much wrong that Samson and Ishan Kishan. Okay, they're too young. Samson is not all that young, is he?
But
But Rishabh Pant, why are you ignoring him all of a sudden? Well, he was the toast of India at one
because
time.
the other two players you have just mentioned, Samsung and Ishan Kishan, had performed. Means it's purely on the basis
Okay,
of performance that
performed
Rishabh
in
Pant
IPL.
finds himself out
Hasn't
of the
Rishabh
team.
Pant performed? Hasn't he performed in Australia, Rishabh Pant? Hasn't he performed in England? Okay, he's been a bit silly. I'm using the word silly because Sunil Gavaskar used the word silly. But that was a silly shot he played at the wrong time. But I hope he's matured since then. Rishabh is a wonderful guy, wonderful wicketkeeper, and a tremendous asset again. Why have they left him out of the side? He should definitely be one of the first people penned in the T20 11.
So, what do you think has been the problem with him?
I don't know. Is there a problem with him?
If
You
if
see,
if there is one, what is it?
I don't know. His wicket keeping is all right. His batting is all right. His attitude is all right. He's a very he's a very humble character, and I'm so glad that he's come out of that unfortunate accident. With you know, you got to be a fighter to come back from that sort of accident and again play Test cricket. Have the willingness of the urge, and with God's grace, he has come out, and he should be in the 11 as far as I'm concerned. Not only in the T20, in all formats of the game, I would say, even
Yeah,
in Test cricket.
Farooq, you talk about fearlessness. Obviously, he set a great example last year, and in that very Old Trafford test when he limped
Indeed,
and climbed down the stairs at the Old Trafford dressing room and walked
absolutely,
into the
yes.
middle.
He's a gutsy fellow. He's put his life on the line for India, and then you go and ignore him. I think it's not fair.
And Farooq sir, Sanju Samsung and his inconsistency in T20 cricket, should he get a longer rope or should Vaibhav Sooryavanshi take his place
Well,
immediately?
the thing is that Sanju Samson is a very talented cricketer, and he's done extremely well in IPL and whenever he's had a chance. But off recent, he's had a bit of a blip. So we got a man who's in form in the dressing room. Sanju Samson will recover. It's not that he's finished or something. But when you have Vaibhav Sooryavanshi here with you in the dressing room in England, play him. He's the man in form. You want to play your best 11 out in the middle. And Suryavanshi, for me, is is the best of the lot. So pick him, definitely. I would pick him.
Will India get someone as good as MS Dhoni, the complete package, ever again?
Why not? I mean, hopefully I was there before Dhoni, and then Dhoni came on the scene, and then Rishabh Pant is not far, is not too far off. We got Ishan Kishan, Sanju Kishan. We got so much of talent. The selectors should be so happy. There's so much bench strength is there. So many players that they can call upon. They're spoiled for choice, which is a wonderful thing for Indian cricket. Indian cricket has done absolute wonders. Our coaches and everyone have done a tremendous job. So but we're reaching this level. I mean, losing two games against Ireland was a, wasn't in the script. That's for sure. Great for Irish cricket and great for cricket internationally. Ireland cricket will be prospering after this, I hope. Having beaten, I remember many years ago they beat Australia, they beat West Indies also. So, Irish eyes have been smiling since then. And good luck to them. But you are in England now, which is only a stone's throw, where the more serious cricket takes place.
Yeah, Farooq sir, glad that you have brought the point of coach. Means obviously Gautam Gambhir as a coach, he has won you two ICC trophies, but at the same time he lost a Test series, whitewash against New Zealand at home again and against South Africa as well, and now
Yeah.
winning and losing the two-match T20I series against Ireland. What's your verdict on Gautam Gambhir as the head coach of Indian team?
Well, I don't want to go into that sort of, arena. I'm talking about, does Gautam Gambhir pick the 11 or the selectors pick the team?
Means
Who can
obviously
you?
on tour it is the team management. It's the coach and the captain that picks the 11.
Indeed, indeed. And I think the coach and the captain over here have been wrong in not picking Sooryavanshi so far, which I have pointed out very clearly. You brought him on the tour, play him the very first game, and get him acclimatized to the conditions. So second game is much wiser. Third game is even much more wiser. So today, had he played in Ireland, he would have been absolutely ripe for England. But the young boy is brimming with confidence. So I don't think that'll affect his confidence. He'll go out and play. You know how much he is revered by the crowds and all that. And apart from putting a few more bums on the seats when people know that he's playing,
Yeah.
he's tremendous to watch. Very entertaining. I would go miles to see him play. And if a seasoned Buddha test cricketer like me would do that, I'm sure
No, Farooq sir, you are
more than.
evergreen. You are evergreen. You cannot call yourself. You are evergreen as always,
Thank you,
always.
thank you.
Very respected and revered. Farooq sir, let's just shift our focus to another Indian wicketkeeper, Risha Ghosh. Obviously, she has been tremendous in women's cricket. What advice do you want to give to Indian women's wicketkeeper batter?
Well, she has been very, very, very good. I've been very impressed with her. Especially a Lakeside gathering has been very good. And I'm surprised that they're not in the finals. I saw the game against South Africa at Old Trafford, South Africa women's. And I'm so glad that Indian women cricket is progressing so well. We've got Smriti Mandana, um, you know, we've got some very, 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 very good players. Jemima Rodriguez, she's a lovely player. And I think our fielding let us down. We dropped a few catches at
Yes.
crucial moments, and that's why we lost. But otherwise, we got a very good captain, and we got a very good side. And I'm fully supportive of Indian women's cricket. I will
Farooq
always
sir,
go and watch them.
the selectors have recently named Shreyas Iyer as the new T20I captain. How do you
Yes.
see the decision?
Well, they are going by IPL results and all that. He's had success in IPL and all that. Shreyas is a fantastic cricketer, without a doubt. He almost signed for Lancashire couple of years ago, but I don't think Lancashire can afford him now. But again, he's a very good choice. But you feel sorry for Surya Kumar, you know, Yadav, because he's proved he's won the T20, for us. And again, he's had a bit of a blip in the IPL, but his batting is such that he takes so many risks. So he's bound to have a string of failures. But he'll go out there and get a quick 100 for you and win a match. So I would have liked to see him here also. But only 11 can play. So I'm sure they've done their best to pick the right 11. We got some very good players, very good bowlers, very good all
Do,
rounders.
do you enjoy
So
watching the batting of Abhishek Sharma?
yes, yes. Again, he's fearless. He's aggressive and plays straight. That's what I like about him.
Finally, recently Ben Stokes was in headlines after deciding to retire from international cricket. Your thoughts?
Well, I may be criticized for this, but I wasn't very keen on the timing of the announcement. Right in the middle, I wasn't pleased about a few things. About the timing of the announcement, that he wanted to grab the headlines instead of England trying to win that match. Look at the way New Zealand batsmen grafted. They took body blows and all that on the balls that were, but the wicket wasn't all that bad. It was definitely, if England played proper cricket, they were definitely capable of getting the runs or getting somewhere near the total, for sure. But Ben Stokes adopted a gung ho attitude, opening the innings. What's he trying to prove? Why does he go and open the innings and then playing first ball charging down the wicket and then playing a reverse sweep shot like he was not interested? He was only interested in Ben Stokes that day, and I thought that was very selfish of him. And I criticized him for that. And but people say that he's got so much talent and all that. Of course, he's got talent. Of course, he's got a name. But I mean, the way he went about it on the last day. I think by his attitude, he lost the Test match for England, which they should have won.
But all these talks about drinking culture within the England team are supportive, and the way he has to retire from international circumstances, the manner in which he was literally forced to retire.
No, well, I don't know about that. No one is forced to retire because he's been very popular in this country. But I don't think he did England justice that day by his attitude. He could have had a better attitude, and he could have gone out with a bang. He could have gone out with an England win, and that would have really, really put Ben Stokes on the pedestal that he deserves to be. But this way, a lot of his critics, including ex-England cricketers, were very critical of him. The way he threw his wicket away, his approach. Like I'm not bothered about England. I'm only bothered about Ben Stokes, and that was wrong in my opinion. Because when you're playing for your country, your country should come first. I hope I've not been too critical, but this is my honest view.
Thank you very much, Farooq
You're
sir. It
welcome,
was a
Devashi.
pleasure. It was a pleasure having you. So,
Anytime, buddy.
so that was Farooq's Engineer exclusive for you, for all the viewers of Revsportz. Thank you very much for joining
You're
all the way
welcome.
from
You're
Old
welcome
Trafford,
anytime.
and looking forward to catching you up
I love to
again.
everyone in India.
Thank you.
Jai
Thank you.
Hind. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you very much, Farooq
I'm
sir.
the
So that's
I'm
all.
I'm
Keep watching
the
Revsportz.
biggest ambassador for India outside India. Believe me,
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm Desi through and through, and very
Thank,
proud to be so.
thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank you. Yeah.
God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Take care.